I've decided to do a live stream this Friday afternoon. I will be doing the live stream on Sunday. So most of you are probably not there, so I'm going to wait a little bit. Billy? We're going to be talking about the commodities market. I think it warrants a bit of a warning. Oil definitely seems to be breaking out. WTI crude is making a new high, multi-year high, and it looks like we could be going to 80 in the WTI crude. Hi, Sergio Senna from St. Andrews. Nice. Do you play golf, Sergio? I'd love to be up in St. Andrews. I've never been. Never played golf there. I'd love to do that. So waiting for people to come in. I did not pre-announce this live stream. Just decided to do it. So right now, WTI crude, the front month, is at $73.60. That's up 1% today. We broke the high from the end of May, just below $73. Yeah, this is the highest level we've had since November 2014 for crude oil, WTI. Brent crude as well hasn't broken the recent high, but it's up quite a bit today as well. Brent crude is up almost 2% at $79.05. So it does have a premium to WTI crude, or West Texas Intermediate. So we're getting more people here. Parlando, hi Mario, hello from Belgium. We beat England. Yeah, you did. I mean, it didn't seem to be a great game. I think England didn't even play its first team, nor did Belgium. So there you go. Sergio, don't play golf. Maybe a good time to start. Yeah. There's plenty of courses in St. Andrews. Cody from Michigan. Hi, Cody. Hello from Wales. Wales, we beat Belgium. Okay. The Finn McCoo, Westland, is that Missouri or Michigan? No, it's Michigan, yeah. John Lord, good afternoon from warm Manchester. It's very hot here too. I'm indoors. It's gonna get cooler in the evening. It does get cooler here in England in the evening, but it's really hot. Comic Commando from Missouri. Kevin Belcher, Mary, do you see these rising oil prices to increase the cost of gold and silver mining? Yeah, of course it will. I mean, I don't know if any of you have watched like the reality shows about mining, Gold Rush. I've watched that a lot, and a lot of their costs are related to fuel. It's very important, the fuel prices. So yeah, it will definitely raise the cost of mining, not just for gold, but for everything else. It will also raise the cost of, how can I say, fertilizers for agriculture. I have looked into the other commodities. Some of them are quite subdued. Some of the industrial metals are not doing, as well as oil, but I think oil is leading the way right now. And I think everything is going to catch up with oil. And as I've said many times before, oil does not cause inflation. A rise in the price of oil is a consequence of the inflation we've had for the last 10 years, especially all the money printing that the central banks have been doing. There is a consequence to it. Even though the Keynesian economists, the mainstream, the bankers, City of London, Wall Street, they don't seem to believe in it. They think that they can just keep printing things and there won't be consequences. And I think we're starting to get it now. I've been also looking at the CRB. We're just breaking above 200. That's if you want to check on Bloomberg, it's CRY. You can have a look at that. We're at 200.70. It's only up under 1% today, but the good thing about looking at the CRB is that it takes into account all the different commodities: oil, precious metals, softs, which are the agricultural commodities. It takes into account precious metals. So at the moment, oil is doing, it's at a 4-year high almost. And so you would expect other commodities to catch up. Oil, I know a lot of people think we should move away. Excuse me. We should move away from oil, and I agree. But at the moment, we are dependent on oil for the whole economy. It's kind of the lifeblood. Plum, trim. Hi from Algeria. Well, nice to see you from Algeria. Livonia for me, Cody, Adam Blanche, Orlando, Michigan. Afternoon from Missouri. Kevin Belcher, Mario, do you see these rise in oil prices? Yeah, I spoke about that already. Yeah, I think so. I think it will be difficult to keep gold and silver. Excuse me, something in my throat. To keep gold and silver and other commodities lower with oil going up as it is. In U.S., foreclosures start rising, 43% of markets. Whoa, yeah. And the other thing as well, it hurts the consumer. I'm really sorry. I got something caught in my throat. Sorry for that. Billy's here today. I had to pick him up to come over. He didn't want to work today. He's been a bit of a lazy guy. The banks are probably hiding and holding onto millions of homes to create artificially high prices. Yeah, after the crisis of '08, also a lot of private equity firms, and they bought a lot of these, foreclosed homes. The central banks are trying to keep house prices high because in the UK, for example, 2/3 of bank assets are loans on properties. So the Bank of England is trying to keep that from imploding. Yeah, Bill Durning, oil tanked economy in '08. I think history will repeat itself. Yeah, it wasn't just the subprime crisis, was it? I mean, oil prices got up to 150 bucks, almost just below 150. And right now, in the other currencies, well, I did a little study the other day. In the last 6 months, we're up 50% annualized in most currencies, even in the dollar. So where are we now? Gold and silver, they have done fairly well today. Silver's back above 16. We're at 16.14, up 13 cents. Gold is finally catching a little bit of a bid here, 12.5470, so up 0.5%. And we're seeing the dollar come off today. But as I've told people in the past, you shouldn't really be concerned too much about the movement of the dollar or your local currency against all the other fiat currencies. You need to keep your eye on the ball. I think the way all the fiat currencies are going to devalue is going to be against commodities. Because you can't, if you devalue the dollar against a fiat currency, then that other fiat currency is going to try to devalue itself against the dollar and vice versa. So it's a useless exercise. If the powers that be really want to reset things, it's got to be done against real goods, real things: gold, silver, oil, all the commodities. And it's not going to be pretty for the public. And that's why you need to protect yourself with precious metals. I know it's been frustrating, but it needs to be done. Yeah, Deutsche Bank failed a Fed stress test, yet it's up 3% today. Metals and crypto getting hammered. Well, metals are up today, actually. Gold and silver are up, as I just said. Sometimes these, Deutsche Bank traded below €9 today, earlier this week. So a lot of this is sometimes in the markets, it's sell the rumor or buy the rumor, and buy or sell the fact. So Deutsche Bank, it's not only Deutsche Bank that is in trouble. All the major banks in the world, the significantly important financial institutions, as the BIS calls them, they're all like nothing's being fixed. They're still highly leveraged. Not only Deutsche Bank, but RBS, Barclays, Lloyd's, Banco Santander in Spain, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. I mean, they've got 40 trillion in derivatives, Goldman Sachs. JP Morgan's got 65 to 70 trillion. So yeah, Deutsche Bank is in trouble, but so is everyone else if things start getting ugly. Rising oil will increase transportation costs, hurts distribution costs. Yeah, it's going to hurt. It's going to seep into everything, the rise in oil prices. I want to also have a look here and just tell you what we're doing in the other commodities. So I'm going to bring up, so right now, for example, we've got WTI up 1%, above 73.60. We've got Brent up 2%, almost at $80. Natural gas is down today. It was up earlier. Gasoline is up 1.8%, or RBOB they call it. So heating oil is up 1.5%, and that's interesting because we're in the summer and heating oil is up. Base metals, so we got copper unchanged. Yeah, the base metals are not doing much. They're actually unchanged. What about soft commodities? So we've got cocoa for chocolate, that's up 2%. Wheat is up 4%. Chicago wheat. Live cattle is up 3%. Feeder cattle 3%. So yeah, not all commodities are up, but they're starting to move. And as I said earlier, the CRB index is back above 200, even though it's still not really breaking out like oil is. Don John Mary, in terms of oil, what do you consider bullish? I think oil price can swing 30% without entering bull or bear market territory. As WTI gets closer to 30% year to date, do you expect stable or exponential price move? Well, just looking at the chart here of crude oil, we're breaking the May 21st high. It could get quite exponential, in my opinion. We're making this is the highest level we've had since November 2004, so 3.5-year high. So this is quite significant. I think the next level will be 80. So I'm sure it's not going to be a straight line, but I think it could accelerate quite a bit here, oil. So we need to keep an eye on it. So that's my answer to your question. 8 do corner. Small Gold's point last night that if a dollar collapsed, that nobody would have money to purchase gold and silver, thus the price of gold and silver would drop. So how are gold and silver a safe haven? So let's see, dollar collapse. Well, if the dollar collapsed, you wouldn't be able to get gold and silver because they would be priceless. You couldn't. I don't agree with that. Would be the only kind of money that you'd be able to exchange for real goods. So if the dollar collapsed, gold and silver would not be priced in dollars anyway. So I don't know who Small Gold is or who made that comment. It doesn't make sense to me. If in the UK the pound collapsed and no one accepted Bank of England notes, and I had to sell something and someone came with a gold sovereign to me, I would sell it to them, but I wouldn't accept the paper. So if the dollar collapses, you don't have to worry about gold or silver because they've been around for 5,000 years and they're money. So don't know what that is. I don't know. Yeah, this guy's kind of not thinking. Maybe he's been listening to Harry Dent too much. Yeah, copper's good as well. Copper's good. D Nut says, I've got a bunch of scrap copper I'm collecting from various job sites. My local ghetto hood a recycler pays 80% spot for a wire pipe gutters, extra 200 a week. Yeah, that's good. I've got a little piece of copper here. Only when we had our house redone, I kept some of the copper piping. There's not much, but just wanted to have some copper. The Finn McCoo, no one will have money. That's preposterous. Well, it's not preposterous. They've abused the monetary system. So, yeah, money can die, but it doesn't mean it won't come back. They'll just have to reorganize. Money, is not a natural creation. It's not from nature. It's a human creation. So I don't think people should worry about it. Uh, Kristen Grimes, do you think people will be able to buy stocks and cryptos if the banks close? Um, Cryptos probably, yeah. You could still, operate in Bitcoin and Ethereum and EOS. You could buy things with cryptos. I'm starting to see, with EOS, for example, I've already gotten 6 airdrops in the last week or so on my EOS wallet. The applications are not running yet, but one of them, for example, is going to be online like shopping, and you're going to be able to pay with cryptocurrencies. So yeah, that definitely could work. And I think gold and silver are going to, be part of the crypto. You could have, gold and silver connected to cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin Ben. Oh, hi, Bitcoin Ben. Nice to see you. Deutsche Bank in deep trouble. The banks are connected. Derivatives will waterfall through the system and wipe out all the banks. That's right, Bitcoin Ben. Deutsche Bank is only the tip of the iceberg. It's that's why they're holding on to Deutsche Bank. But yeah, it's a bit like Lehman's. Maybe they'll let it go, but if they let Deutsche Bank go, everything goes. And as I've said before, if everything goes, I don't think this time politically it will be possible to bail out the banks, because we've been told, and the general public has been told, that everything's been fixed and everything is all right. Of course, we know it isn't, so it would be difficult. Parlando, is there an EOS wallet available already? Yeah, I use a simple EOS, SIMPLEOS, simple EOS. It's from eosrio.io. There are other wallets, and I think Block One is working on a hard wallet as well. Matthew Stocks, I don't trust cryptos. A lot of people don't. I trust gold and silver more than crypto. It doesn't mean to say that I'm not involved in crypto. I think people need to have an open mind and diversify. I think, yeah, crypto has a future, and the blockchain. Bitcoin Ben, what price do you think Deutsche Bank stock will hit before derivatives will be triggered? Well, I mean, right now, I think the low this week was just below €9. And that's like the lowest in ages. Um, it's difficult to say. I guess if we start going towards €5, then I think people start worrying. Yeah, €5. But we need to see what else the rest of the markets are doing. If all the financial markets are like really volatile, you need that as well. Because the thing about derivatives, if they move a lot, if the underlying markets are moving a lot up and down, it can trigger a lot of losses in derivatives. So yeah, if the markets are calm and the Deutsche Bank just moves down slowly, nothing might happen. What you need is a big move down in Deutsche Bank and a lot of like uncertainty in the markets. Daniel P, at what age did you wake up or woke up to the corrupt system? Well, I started working in finance in my early mid 20s. I only really started waking up probably in the early 2000s. So I was what, let's say 30, 36, 37. So it took a while. I mean, I always questioned things. I never agreed, with mainstream thinking, even before then. But it was only after I bought some gold and I started looking into gold like in 2001 and 2 and started reading about things more that I realized. So, yeah, I was about in my mid 30s. So there you go. Timmy Chonga. Hi, Timmy Chonga. Nice to see you here. These nuts, Mario, with the higher price of oil in China, uh, buying solar, vanadium is used in solar panels. How do you see silver, vanadium values next year? Well, silver will do well. Vanadium, I haven't looked into. I'm sorry. And the other thing I wanted to talk about, the International Energy Exchange in Shanghai, is really growing right now. Today, we had 170,000 contracts trade in the September sour crude in Shanghai, priced in yuan. Open interest is over 40,000. So, yeah, that is still going really well. So, Node, my cheerleader, hi, how are you doing? Bitcoin Ben, thank you for answering my questions. You're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. And just to let you know, I don't agree with, don't know if you've seen the Maestro way. He's been making videos about you. I think that's wrong. People, everyone's different. And yeah, even though I've been in contact with Maestro, I don't know why he's doing that, just to let you know. Ben Waldron, what do you think subprime mortgage bond default rate is currently? To be honest, I haven't really looked into that, but I will have a look. I will have a look. Do you know? I don't know. Oh, thanks, Bitcoin Ben, for the donation. I appreciate it. Randall McMurphy, in a few hours, buy a house with 1 Bitcoin and a car with 1 Litecoin. Well, yeah, I mean, I think the most important thing, yeah, it's nice to make big capital gains with investments, but I think the most important thing is to have a steady income from whatever you do. So you don't have to depend on the moves, so you can keep hold of your assets. Yeah, it's nice to have the big moves, but try not to depend on them. That's my thinking. The Libra Fraudster. Would you mind recommending some eye-opening books? Well, I did. I think it was not last Sunday, the Sunday before. I did what I call the book stream. So you can look on my channel, the YouTube channel, and I did 17 books. So it's there. No, I haven't looked into cobalt using Tesla batteries. No. Yo, Monaco, I agree. We are to the point that the dollar value in gold is less important than the weight you hold. Scary times ahead cannot be avoided. Yeah, I mean, I got a. Oh, hi, Bitcoin Ben. It was I'll tell you who it was. The Maestro Way. He's got a YouTube channel. That's the guy. So yeah, Pat, you're talking about the weight of gold and not worrying about the price. I got an email from someone in New York today who watches the channel, said his wife used to be worried about the price, but now she's realized, that you shouldn't worry about the fiat price. And it's the same thing. My wife as well. She used to be worried a few years ago because gold and silver were always like kept under, you know, under control. But now, she realizes it's what's the point of having your money, in a corrupt system like the banks? So it doesn't matter. Deutsche Bank up 4%. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times, they come out and they do that, and just to like, or it could be what I said earlier, buy the rumor, sell the facts. I've got Deutsche Bank here in Europe today. It was up 1.77%, or up to nine euros 20. We're still at fairly low levels, so that's the way the markets go. Pad, looking for one more mining stock to complete my portfolio. Any ideas? I would look into the, indices like HUY, GDXJ, and see, and you can find information about them and look at their components and take it from there. That's what I do personally, and what I've done personally in the past. Oh, Billy's going down. Look, he's got Billy. Are you bored? Come on, say hi to everyone, Billy. There's Billy. uh, Ben Waldron, I don't know, but considering the foreclosures are very high, the default rate could be very near 8%, and a 2008 crash could repeat. Yeah, that's true. Mario, forgive my fat fingers. Oh, I didn't even see. Didn't see what. Don't worry. Crypto Bird Dog. Hello, Crypto Bird Dog. Nice to see you here. Do you think gold will go much lower? Well, today we're rebounding, and as I've said, oil is breaking out. WTI is at a 3.5-year high. So I think it's going to be difficult to keep the commodity sector, the whole thing, under pressure. I think hopefully we've seen the low here in gold, just around 1250. I could be wrong, of course. But as I said, we shouldn't worry about the price of gold and fiat money. We should just hold on to, think of it in grams or ounces and not worry. Oh, Billy, they want to say hi to you. Come on. Hey, Billy, say hi to everyone. There you go. He's a bit sleepy. There you go. Yeah, Billy. Yeah, he's doing all right. His birthday is in about a week's time. He's going to be 10 years old, so he's an old boy. Bitcoin 199 by December. Wow, that would be a big drop. John Roberts. So if fiat fails, what next? Talking first world here. It would be a big shock if fiat money fails in the West, North America, and Europe. I mean, Latin America people are used to having different, the different currency every 20 years or so. But in Europe, they've had, currencies collapse, especially in Germany, France, Italy, in the last 100 years. But for the UK and the US, that would be a big thing. Daniel P., a Wall Street guy told me technical analysis got useless 30 days ago when quantitative analysis came into the game. David Buckner, in your personal opinion, how important is a crypto token pegged to gold? Have to see, it has to be trustworthy. That's the only problem. The only thing is that even though I think people are trying to do asset-backed cryptos, and that's what it would be. It could be important. It could be. You could even see the central banks trying to do that. If their fiat money fails, that could be maybe the only thing that they can have that people would accept. So you never know. Or I'd rather prefer, because I don't trust central banks. I prefer a free market one. Uh, of course, there are risks. There are risks in everything, but that's what free markets and capitalism is about risk. And you have to be able to, assess the risk. Tony Blaylock, who does higher oil benefit outside the big oil companies? Well, I think it benefits a little bit the U.S. Treasury as well. And why is that? Well, because foreigners will need more dollars to buy oil, and Saudi Arabia will have more oil receipts. A lot of countries will have more oil receipts. They'll have to buy treasuries with that. As recycling. But as I said earlier, the Chinese yuan oil contract is doing really well. So that's competition for the U.S. But the oil producing countries benefit the most from it, of course, from higher oil. NASDAQ C, why do you dislike Trump even though he's trying hard? I don't dislike Trump, as a person. I just don't think he's the real deal. I think he's just another, puppet. It might seem that he's going against the establishment, but he's doing a lot of things that help the establishment. He's increasing military spending. He's, he's helping Israel. So there's a lot of things that he does that I don't agree with. But yeah, I think he's better having him than Hillary. But I don't, he's using the government statistics to play up the economy. And when he was running, he said it was a big fat bubble and the economy wasn't great. But now when the stock market is almost 10,000 points higher, it's because the economy is doing great. So I don't agree with everything he says, and yeah, so there you go. But I don't dislike him as a person. At least he says it like it is. These nuts. Mario, what do you think China will do about the Saudi Aramco deal when they find Saudi doesn't have as much oil as they claim? Yeah, I think they probably know that already. And I think that's why the Saudi Aramco deal is not really, I think it's been delayed a lot. Russia benefits as well from higher oil. They're the biggest oil producers now, Russia. Over here, no pain, no gain. Like I said, Mario, assess the risk. That's right. And if you don't want to have any risk, just hold the silver or the gold. This is a 1902 quarter. I don't know if you can see it. It's difficult to see with the light. Okay. Bitcoin Ben, yeah, he saw the video. Yeah, I don't know. He's like a frustrated YouTuber, I think. Trump is beefing up the military to protect the dollar, but I think that's a waste of money, to protect the dollar, because the dollar is a, I don't want to say the word here, a piece of what. So I think he's doing the wrong thing. If you wanted to protect the dollar, he's not protecting the dollar, he's protecting the Federal Reserve note, and those are the central bankers. So I'm sorry, Timmy Chonga. That's a bad. If he wanted to protect the real dollar, gold and silver, a weight of gold and silver in the Constitution, he would abolish the Fed, not beef up the military. What needs to stop to What needs to happen to stop this metals manipulation? Well, what will happen eventually, Ray Stevens, is that the manipulators, the central bankers, they're going to run out of physical, they're going to have to cover their positions. They can't keep doing it forever. They tried it in the 1960s. It was called the London Gold Pool, and it survived till like early 70s, and then they had to stop it and let gold go up. They manipulated it at $35 an ounce from the early 60s to 1971 for 10 years, and then it came to a point where the US was running out of gold, and they had to let the price go up. And it's going to happen the same way now. They can't do it forever. Michael Peasy, have you had any interesting dreams at night regarding the economic situation? No, I don't dream about those things. I guess some people do, and they think those things are like a signal. I don't have any of those. I'm wide awake. KMS, why big banksters bash crypto all the time? Well, because crypto is a threat to them. That's why. I'm just reading what Bitcoin Ben said here. Over here, Mario, subscriber numbers are going up still. No one has contacted you to be interviewed. No, they haven't. I don't care really over here. I'm fine the way I'm doing things. And if someone wants to contact me, they do. But, you know, this is not why I do my videos, to be interviewed by other people. But if they do want to contact me, they're free to do it. Daniel P. Mario is like a talking Wikipedia. Well, there's going to be a new kind of Wikipedia. It's called Everypedia. Everypedia. They're going to launch on the EOS blockchain. So that should be interesting as well. They're not out yet. Um, Toba, what's your opinion on a quantitative tightening program by the Fed? How important is it? Should we pay attention to it? Of course it is. Well, the Fed, they want you to think that it's like watching paint dry, but it's the reverse of quantitative easing. So it's going to drain the liquidity from the system, and it could create a lot of accidents, in the financial market. I would say, they've already started. Yeah, so yeah, it's important to keep an eye on it. Aim watching, come to Acapulco, February 2019. Yeah, I've thought about it. We'll have to see. That could be interesting. The Libra fraudster. In your opinion, what would hold more value if gold and silver were to deplete? Well, I don't think gold ever depletes, or because gold's not consumed. So all the gold, well, 99.9% of all the gold that's ever been mined is above ground, because gold is money. It's not consumed. So silver could be, because of industrial uses. So yeah, silver could catch up with gold. Bitcoin Ben, you and I should do a video together. Yeah, why not? It would really piss off the maestro, because I've done a video with him before. So yeah, he would rub him off the whole wrong way. Yeah, we'll talk about it later. Philip Ward Monaco, do you have any views on using the online gold services called Glint? Yeah, I do have a Glint card and the app. I have a few grams, not that much in there. The thing is, I don't really like to spend the gold. So, but maybe if gold shoots up, and becomes, If the pound collapses, then that could be good. But yeah, I don't have a problem with Glint. I know the guy behind Glint, Ben Davies. He used to work in the city, but about 10 years ago, he got out. He used to be worked for the big banks in London, and he became like a gold bug, and he actually has a gold fund. So I think he's a trustworthy guy. I think. Over here, Maria, Mario, I guess you mean. Do you see a new, fresh U.S. politician standing out, being recognized outside the socialist, that socialist Democrat? No, I mean the only guy that I like in the U.S. is Ron Paul, but he's retired, and I'm not even sure about Rand Paul. But there might be other guys in the. I haven't seen anyone. Out there. EOS REM trading? No, don't have an opinion on it. Really, I'm not that technical, but it's something that will happen, I guess. Kui Kim Mac, will Italy collapse because Italy debt 130% of GDP? Well, they've had that kind of debt to GDP for years. Like 120 to 130. Maybe they will drop out of the euro. Look at Japan, though. Japan has 200% of debt to GDP. So they're zombie countries, I guess, zombie governments. But Italy itself, the country, the people, the infrastructure, it's a great country. So it's only the money that's bad. Mary, resolve that new pillow flag issue. Well, that is one of my viewers on Steemit. He has that thumbnail. That's the flag of Wyvern. It's also it was the flag of Wessex, Kingdom of Wessex, which was like a kingdom in the south of England before the Norman conquest. So that's the. I just thought it was nice. Well, you're welcome, Bitcoin Ben. Nice to see you here. Over here, do you think all the online dealers paper trade precious metals? Some of them might use it as a hedge, but some of them I don't think trade. They just, I think what they do is they just take a premium, or for you to buy, and they take a discount when they buy from you, and they've got enough clients so that they can offset the buy and sells. But some big ones might use the futures to hedge, which I guess is not a bad thing, even though I don't think the futures are great for the market. These nuts. Mario, thanks for your insight. Your opinion on Peter, the sky's been falling for 10 years shift. Well, the thing about, I agree with all he says, about the system. The thing is that the powers that be have been able to keep, a band-aid on the system. But I agree with him that things haven't been fixed. When it will implode, I don't know. So yeah, so that's the way I see it. Dane Robinson, I buy gold in an unallocated pool. Is this okay? No, it's not okay. That means that the gold that you don't really own it. It's unallocated. So it's not physical gold. It has to be allocated if you really want to, and it has to be in your name. So no, it's not good. It will expose you to price movements, but if you want to take delivery of it, you won't be able to. Johnny Deep, have you been to Las Vegas before, Mario? No, I haven't been to Las Vegas. I'm not really a gambler, so it doesn't really interest me. A lot of people here in the UK, they go to Las Vegas for weddings and like stag do's, even people getting married here. They'll go to Las Vegas for a stag do and come back to. I think it's a waste of money. Not that I don't think Las Vegas is nice, but I used to like watching the uh, the show about the pawnbrokers in Las Vegas. I wouldn't mind going to go see them. I forgot what it was called, Pawn Stars. But no, are you from Las Vegas, Johnny Deep? Thoughts on Venezuela? Well, it's getting worse there. I think I saw a headline about the military getting involved. So yeah, that it's a total failure of the money, of the political system. It's just imploding, which is unfortunate. Farshad Niazi, do you think Trump will start a war with, say, Iran to save the fiat money? Well, that definitely seems to be one of the things, with what's happening now. It looks like the neocons are back in charge. So you got John Bolton advising him. I hope not, because if there's a war with Iran, it would be probably trigger a world war with Russia and China. I don't know if it would save the fiat money, but it would it would be an excuse to wipe the slate clean and start again. Nasser Nassab, I just learned the Central Bank of Russia may use its Ethereum-based master chain software to communicate financial messaging across the European Union, the Eurasian Economic Union. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, I think the Russians have been kicked out of SWIFT, so why not use that? Johnny Deep, I agree. Las Vegas is overrated. Yes, I'm from Las Vegas. Pawn Stars is a small store, nothing like the hype on TV. But yeah, probably right. It'd probably be fun to go. I have been to a casino before in France when I lived in Switzerland. I went with two friends of ours, and we took 50 francs. And we got there and we said, let's play the roulette. And we won 200 right away. And I said, why don't we just go out and have a nice dinner? And we did. So, but it could be fun to go to Las Vegas. Over here, World War III would resolve depopulation. Is that what you mean? Yeah, definitely would. I guess it was Einstein who said that. He didn't know what weapons they would use in World War III, but he said that if there was a World War III, we'd be using sticks for World War IV. Howard Kuhlman, Q says no war with Iran. Rather, Russia will apply pressure to topple the regime. That's why Bolton in Russia to arrange summit with Trump. But I don't. Why should the U.S. or any other foreign nation try to topple the regime in Iran? I haven't heard of Iran invading any country in the last 25 years. I haven't heard of Iran, when we have terrorist attacks in the West. I haven't heard of any Iranian taking responsibility for it. So I don't really get it, why the regime should be changed in Iran. Not really. GG Monaco, have you seen the constant up and down zigzag of silver the last few days? Do you think JP Morgan shorting silver is going to end this year? Yeah, I mean, silver has been like flatlining. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, it was breaking out last Friday, 2 weeks ago. And that was the day they came and smashed it. Yeah, it's going sideways. But as I said, oil is starting to kind of spoil the party. Because like today, for example, Brent crude is almost at $80. It's up 2%. And the WTI crude is making a new 3.5-year high. It's up 1% at $73.60. So I think the whole sector is going to start moving higher. The whole commodity sectors, the softs, the industrial metals, even though they're not doing as well as oil, but oil will lead the way, in my opinion. Deceive no more. They're not part of our banking system. Iran, that is. Yeah, and I don't. The other thing about Iran, the Saudis don't like Iran, and the Israelis don't like Iran. And why don't they like Iran? Well, the Saudis because they've got a monarchy, right? And Iran overthrew a monarchy in 1979, so they don't like that. And why does Israel not like Iran? Well, because a stable, strong, independent Iran is not good for Israel. Israel wants the countries around Israel to be weak or divided or to be under their control, i.e. U.S. control. So that's why I think, Iran is, they're like, the Saudis don't like them and the Israelis don't like them. Which is weird. All right, guys, I'll take another couple of questions and I'm going to call it a day. I will be doing another one of these on Sunday night at the usual 9 p.m. London time or 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So I'll take another one or two questions. Dane Robinson, would you put the farm on silver at this price range? I want to buy more, but I also don't want to rush in and end up buying the top. Well, the thing to do is basically to try to dollar cost average a bit. I would definitely buy some here. So, and never put money or fiat money that you can't afford to lose. So, but it's physical silver is always a good long-term savings instrument, in my opinion. Chris Weiner, the last question here. How's Brexit coming along? Well, not very well. It seems to be a lot of delay tactics by the EU, and it's supposed to get done before March next year, so we'll have to wait and see. Thank you everyone for showing up. I didn't pre-announce, but we've had a good crowd here and great questions. And thank you very much, everyone. And I'll talk to you on Sunday night, London time. And before that, I'll be doing another video tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.